Hey Divas, welcome to Spilling the Tea Business Edition. I am your host and good sis, Pink Diva. Thank you so much for joining me. As you're pulling your seat up to the table, please don't forget to hit the like button. Feel free to drop down and leave a comment or ask questions on the topic. Turn your bell notifications on so that you'll be notified each and every time I drop a new topic. As you know, our mission is to create a safe space for women to gather as a community, engage in healthy dialogue regarding real life issues that we as women deal with on a daily basis, but most importantly, to foster the true meaning of sisterhood. Hello, 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 and happy Friday to each of you. Welcome back to another episode of Spilling the Business Tea. And today, we're talking about something that I believe separates the dreamers from the doers, and that is consistency over perfection, the secret sauce to growing your business. Now, I know many of you have big dreams when it comes to your businesses. You want the perfect website, the perfect logo, the perfect product or service, the perfect launch, all of the things, right? But here's the reality: waiting on perfect will paralyze you, while showing up consistently will carry you to success. So grab your notebook, grab your favorite cup of tea, and let's dig into why consistency is the real secret sauce to entrepreneurship. Let's go. Number one, why is perfection a trap? Let's talk about it. We're going to start here. Perfection is an illusion. You'll never get to a place where every single detail is absolutely flawless, right? Because once you fix one thing, you'll always find something else that you need to tweak. Perfection causes procrastination. It's that voice in your head that says, I can't launch until I have the perfect logo, or I can't post until I have the perfect backdrop. And in the meantime, while you're waiting on perfect, somebody else is showing up messy, but they're consistent, and they're gaining the clients, the followers, and all the opportunities that you're missing out on because you're waiting for perfect. Here's a quick example. Think about your favorite fast food restaurant. Their service is not always perfect, right? Sometimes they get your order wrong, but you know what keeps people coming back? Consistency. You know they'll be open. You know the fries will taste the same every time. That consistency beats perfection. So ask yourself, what's one thing that you've been putting off in your business because you're waiting for it to be perfect? One thing. What is one thing that you've been putting off in your business because you're waiting on it to be perfect? Drop it in the comments. Drop it down in the comments if you're listening in. I'll go back and read it and answer it for you after the video. But drop it down in the comments and let us know what's that one thing that you've been putting off in your business because you're waiting on it to be perfect. Now let's go ahead and talk about why consistency builds trust. Here's the next piece of the tea. Consistency really does build trust. When you show up over and over again, people begin to count on you. They trust your brand, they trust your word, and they trust your ability to deliver. And when people trust you, they buy from you. Now let's think about it. Would you follow a business that only posts maybe once every 3 months? Probably not. You'll forget that they even exist, right? But when a business shows up consistently, even if their content may not be the best of quality, you always remember them, right? Because they're showing up, they're consistently in your face. And when you're ready to buy, guess who's at the top of your mind? That one person that stayed consistent, that one person that was always up doing what they needed to do, even though it wasn't perfect. Here's another example. Let's talk about Amazon. I'm sure we all have Amazon Prime accounts, I'm sure. But Amazon isn't perfect. Packages get delayed, mistakes happen, they deliver the packages to the wrong address. But why do we keep using Amazon? You know why? Because they consistently deliver convenience. Convenience, right? We can go on Amazon Prime and we can click buy and it'll come to us at our front door. It's convenience. Trust comes from showing up. So, how do you feel when a business you follow disappears for months and then suddenly all of a sudden they pop back up out of nowhere? Does it make you want to buy from them or patronize with their business? Or does it make you question their reliability? Like, you off and on again. Like, we'll see you here and there, and then we won't see you at all, and then you just pop back up. Ask yourself, would you patronize with that business? Our next part is consistency compounds over time. This is one of my favorite points. Consistency compounds. Every post, every email, every product you release is just like planting a seed. At first, it feels like nothing is really happening, right? Like I planted the seed, I'm watering it, I'm watching it, nothing's happening. But if you keep planting seeds, eventually you will see a harvest. The problem is too many entrepreneurs plant a seed, don't see results right away, and then they give up. But if you stay consistent, those seeds will eventually begin to sprout. And when they do, all the work that you put in will finally add up. And then people will think you blew up overnight, when in reality, you were consistently working behind the scenes. See, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes that people won't ever see. They only see the pretty stuff that you pop out and show on social media. They don't see everything that you're working on behind the scene. Prime example, let's think about social media influencers. Most of them didn't go viral overnight, right? They posted consistently for months or even years before one video even finally took off. But if they hadn't have stayed consistent, they never would have had the chance to go viral. They kept showing up for themselves. So then, another question for you. What seeds are you planting in your business right now? Is it posting on social media? Are you out networking? Are you building products? What are you working on? What seeds are you actually planting in your business right now? Feel free to share and then drop it down in the chat or write it down and ask yourself later. Our next part, how to be consistent without burning out. How to be consistent without burning out. Now, I can hear some of you saying, but I don't have the time to do everything consistently. And you're right, we don't. You don't have to do everything. You just have to choose the right things and make a commitment to doing those things. So here are some tips. Number one, pick your lane. Choose 1 to 2 areas where you'll be consistent. Maybe it's posting on Instagram. Maybe it's sending out some email newsletters. Maybe it's you going live weekly. You don't need to do all of it. Just do something consistently. Number two, create yourself a schedule. Decide how often you will show up and stick to it. For example, let's say I'll post twice a week, or I'll do a live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Create a schedule. Number three, batch and plan ahead. If consistency feels too overwhelming for you, you can always batch your content. Record like 4 videos in one setting, and then you can always schedule them. That way you stay consistent without scrambling. And that's anything with social media. Across all social media platforms, you have the ability to schedule your content, be it you're posting a daily quote or whatever you're posting on your page. You can let's say, set aside some time on Sunday, and you can batch all of your content to be posted in that one day. And you can schedule like, okay, I want this one to drop Monday, this one to drop Wednesday, this one to drop Thursday. So definitely take into consideration planning, batching and planning ahead of time with your content. And then number four, give yourself grace. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. If you miss a day, don't quit. Just pick back up. The power is in the long-term pattern, not the short-term slip-ups. It's okay to have an off day because life be lifing, right? Things come up. We can't always stick to the schedule that we like to set for ourselves. But when life happens, just pick right back up where you started off. Just don't quit. Just stay consistent. Another example, Starbucks doesn't add new drinks every day. They keep their menu consistent, and then they add like a seasonal twist here and there. You can do the same thing. Keep your content base consistent, and then sprinkle in a little something new. Just like right now, it's going into the fall season. Um, Starbucks is getting ready to start offering pumpkin everything, right? So they keep a consistent base of products that they provide, but seasonally they add new things. So you can do the same thing within your business. So ask yourself another question. What's one small step you can commit to being consistent with in your business this week? Just one thing, one thing. What is one small step that you can commit to being consistent with in your business this week? One thing. Write that down. Feel free to drop the answer in the chat. Number 5, let's talk about real life proof. Most successful entrepreneurs didn't start with the perfect system, right? They started messy, but they were consistent. Oprah didn't become Oprah overnight. She consistently showed up in her field. Tyler Perry talks about how his first plays had almost no audience, but he kept showing up until people took notice to his work, right? And let me tell you, your story will be the same way. Years from now, people will look at you and say, wow, she made it overnight, big time, right? But you'll know it wasn't an overnight success. It took you consistently working toward that goal. It takes consistency. I remember when I first started my business, I started my business right out of my home. I did not have a brick and mortar location. I started out of my home. My home office was full of business stuff. And I remember this was at the very, very beginning. We didn't even have a lot of customers. We had customers like here and there, but I couldn't let that deter me from actually staying consistent in business, because especially when you are in a product or service based business, people buy with their eyes. So you have to stay in their face. And when I say stay in their face, mean you have to show them consistently that you are working. See, and because they didn't know, a lot of the things that we were doing behind the scenes, it wasn't even for a particular order for a customer. We were doing it so that we could have content to post on our social media sites. I remember as far as with our dessert business, there were times we would just make cupcakes. We would make cupcakes and design them and make them real pretty, just so that we could take pictures of it and have something to post on our website and post on our social media sites, so that potential customers could see that, oh, those were some nice cupcakes. They look delicious. Let me place an order. Or there were times when I would go into my living room and I would turn my into my dining room and turn my entire dining room table into like a head table for a wedding. I would put the nice, pretty tablecloth on it and the charger place, the really nice centerpiece. I'll put the backdrop behind it, the balloons and the chair covers on the chair. I would actually make it look like it was an actual event, that, this was a photo that I took from an actual event. I would post it. I was building my portfolio. Even though I didn't have clients yet, I was building my portfolio. I was actually putting in the work behind the scenes. I was staying consistent. So those are some things that you have to do in order for you to build your clientele. You have to actually still be working and being consistent behind the scenes. You can't just give up because you feel like, well, nobody's booking any services for me or nobody's buying any of my products. You can't get discouraged and stop just because you don't have as many clients, or you're not selling as much as you think you should be in the beginning stages. We all had to start somewhere, and it did not start with us having hundreds of clients right away. It started with us being consistently working behind the scenes and working to build our brand. So that's just a little bit of backstory about, the things that I had to do consistently behind the scenes. So don't be discouraged if you don't see results right away. Consistency is quiet in the beginning, but it's very loud in the end. So keep working, keep doing whatever it is that you're doing. Just make sure you are consistently doing it. Make sure you are being visible on your social media platforms. If you are a product-based business, take you some nice photos. and post it on your sites, whether you're making a sale or not. If it's something that you offer, whatever the line of business that you're in, consistently show up for yourself. All right. So that wraps up this episode of Pink Table Topics. But I want to let you know today's tea is simple, but it's powerful, right? Perfection will paralyze you, but consistency will carry you. Let me say that again. Perfection will paralyze you, but consistency will carry you. So stop waiting for perfect. Choose progress. Stop waiting for perfect. Choose progress. Plant your seeds, water them with consistency, and watch your business grow. And remember, every post, every conversation, every action, that's a step forward. Stay consistent, and your future self will thank you. Okay? So, thank you for joining another episode of Pink Table Topics, spilling the business tea. The tea has been spilled. Now it's up to you to sip it, stir it with courage, and serve it in your business. Remember, you're not just building a brand, you're building a legacy. Stay fabulous, stay fearless, and keep shining your brilliance into the world. Until next week, have an amazing day, an amazing weekend, and thank you for joining Pink Table Topics, Spilling the Tea Business Edition. Chat with you soon.